What's up? It's your boy Nicholas Rivas. I talk about stuff and stuff, and today we are talking about the Trump economy. I was right. I don't know why people don't listen to me. I am him. When I made a video about the Trump economy, I said, you know what? It's gonna be good. It's gonna be an okay economy, and people were who are typically on the more left side were like, look at this dumbass. This is, kind of pre-tariffs. Like, he's doing some of the tariffs and he didn't fully do Liberation Day yet. And people are like, this guy's crazy. The more lefties, right? And their mindset is right. Like, the tariffs are a net negative. But I was saying, I don't think he's going to go forward with it. I think he's going to kind of play like little bit like of a game. He's going to put his feet in the water. He's going to take it out. He's going to double speak. He's going to take it back. We're never going to see a recession because the United States right now is in a good spot per Biden, leaving us on a inflation downfall trajectory, having us avoid a recession during a time where most countries were suffering from outrageous inflation rates, to just straight up recessions. And seeing that there's sort of like almost recession, I should say, because I don't think actually, maybe some countries, we were the best on the scale of the globe. We were not doing the worst. We were the number one best when it came to combating inflation. So I took that as like, look, I think a recession was very much possible during the time of the early 2020s to 2024, but we've avoided that. And now it's going to be really hard to fuck up the economy. And what Trump did with his tariffs have proven to be just shitty. Even if you think the outcome is going to be worth it, you have to admit that the rollout sucked. There was tariffs. Yes, there was tariffs. No, there was, okay, a bunch of tariffs. Now we're taking them back. Did they even get affected? Like, this isn't just me saying that. This is Trump saying, like, really inconsistent. Yes, we're doing tariffs. Actually, no, we're not doing tariffs. That's from his own mouth. If you don't believe me, then please track his speech, track his actions, how tariffs are good and then they're not good and they're just a tool and then they're actually, we don't have to use them, or if we wanted to use them, they're actually really good and they'll make things go down in price and you don't have to take the charge. Oh, actually, you might have to take a little bit of charge. You know what? The two kids have too much dolls and you don't need all these toys and it's going to suffer a little, but it's actually going to be a good thing. You're never going to suffer. I know I sound like schizo, but that's what we've been dealing with. It's been inconsistent. His messaging at the very least is inconsistent. What reality is happening is that, yeah, it's just really bad rollout. Like, we saw it with the tariffs initially with the Canadian and Mexican governments, and it was inconsistent. And I don't even know if it really fully went into effect before he could pull them back. And then with China, we did the same thing. Did they really fully go in effect post-Liberation Day? I think partially, because even then he pulls some back. It's just inconsistent. So even with his really shitty plan, that is putting the stock market in this sort of limbo, that was still not enough to fuck up, because I knew in my mind, I said, unless he is super driven to just continue, and by all means, we still have tariffs. Like, there's still that 30%, I think, on China, even after the post negotiations. That's still really fucking high. I think there's like 10% still in a bunch of countries. People are, or China and other trade partners are just looking at us like less reliable. It's not good. But even then, I said, he's going to realize how shitty this is, because tariffs are tough. They're a tough tool, and you can try to tell people that there's going to be some economic pain, but in the end, it's going to be worth it. You can say that to people, but when they have to go to the store and nothing's changed, or it feels like it's getting worse. I mean, look at the economy under Biden. Even though things were statistically going down, not across the board, we were coming out of a pandemic, and same for 2020, Trump was dealing with obscene prices and new, this sort of like, we never seen a world just shut down, right? I wouldn't put that on him. I wouldn't blame him at all. And people still were like, I'm going to blame him. Like, let's not kid ourselves. The American voter isn't thinking like, oh, in 22, it's going to take 3 years to get. No, they're just thinking about how much it costs. And for me, I have not seen any cost go down or enough for me to feel like this is significant. And obviously, to get costs to go down, it's a lot more than just a fucking tariff. Like, if you want to drop down the houses pricing of houses, you build more houses, you invest in these kind of lower income houses, or you give people a more competitive wage so they can afford these pricier houses. There's all these things that it's not just one thing. If you just said we're just going to build houses, I'd be like, well, you're there, but you're not fully there. And that's what I try to tell these people. So with Trump, even with him being terrible and him missing the mark on the, tariffs, I still don't think he was going to be as strong-willed to keep them. Like, again, we're going to see the effects of the tariffs, I think, coming soon, with Walmart announcing that they're going to show people the real prices. I'm thinking of Amazon. We're going to show people the cost of the tariffs that were affecting, like in their shipping and total cost. You would see tariff as a tag. Walmart has said like they're going to put tariffs onto the consumer, so I think that's coming up soon. We haven't really seen the full effects of the tariffs because, of course, there's a delay. Like COVID happened in 2020, but you didn't see inflation really start to rise until the post world because things delayed. If you have a boat that explodes today, items that are on the stock right now are obviously not going to be affected, but give it a few months when those items need to be restocked. Well, that boat that had everything, it's going to start reflecting then, right? There's a bit of delay when it comes to stuff like this. So in the case of Trump, I always knew that, yeah, there's going to be some suffering. People are going to really hate it, but he's just going to backtrack. He's just going to revoke the tariffs and he's going to say he won. And he's already saying that. I think he made a deal with the UK. I have to go through it and still read it, but it didn't look like much. It didn't look like anything that we didn't already have. And again, I want to spend more time. Like, I want to spend actual hours instead of just reading one or two articles, but I want to like really dive deep and see where we were before and now where we are with this current tariffs. And I don't understand if I'm just misreading it, but it looks like we didn't change it. It looks like we reverted back to kind of what we were already doing, and yet there's still a percentage increase in goods that are going to be thrown on the consumers. So this doesn't sound like a great deal. That's one of the 90 some tariffs that we were doing. Like it even though looks terrible, and even though we're not feeling the full effects, I don't think they're going to last long because the guy has shown that he's just going to reverse it, and people are going to be vocal about it. He's going to lose a lot of his support. He's already lost a lot of that support. I think his biggest polling was his stance on him, his policies for immigration and for the economy. People really believed in him, and now it's like dead even, which is terrible. That was the one thing you were good at. Like, people would ask him about like women's rights or something, and he'd get like a 20% approval, and that's fine. That's not what we expect from Trump. This is something where I'm like, oh, very surprised that people are so volatile, and it hasn't even started yet. Like, we're not going to see prices hike up until a little bit later. And even then, will they even last long? Are we just going to quietly revoke these tariffs, right? So that's why I don't think that the Trump economy is going to be as dire as people are saying. I think it's going to suck for a bit. I think it's going to go back to its normalcy. You're not going to see gas prices shoot up or shoot down in price. You're not going to see goods go up to $800 just to buy bananas. You're going to see these really unforeseeable items. I don't want to say unforeseeable. You're going to see some items like eggs go up because of avian flu and how their reaction to stuff like that is just going to make it worse. It's going to suck. There's just things that suck during any time. In the same time, I know Biden had eggs increase, and that was due to a certain, I think, similar avian flu of sorts. So like, there's nuance here, right? Like, not everything's going to get cheaper, not everything's going to get worse. And what those items are, I think we have a pretty good understanding, but you already see places like Canada was threatening power and Trump was losing, and he revoked that. Like, no, please don't do that. Like, we don't look strong here. And I don't think he cares anymore. I don't think, because people are still defending him. So what's stopping him from just revoking and saying we had a good deal? He did that with Mexico, which Scheinbaum said that, like, he asked for more troops. I'm declining it. We already had troops there. We're already aiding. Everything we're doing, we were already doing under Biden. But he's claiming that they won, that they did something different. That's what I think we're going to see for the 4 years, is a lot of like, yeah, I totally did that thing. And he didn't really do the thing. There was no like significant change. And you can lie to the American people, but they're going to see it reflected in the consumed goods. And I don't think it's going to be severe enough to destroy the economy. I just don't think it's going to be enough to save them. But a little bit of like, hopefully what people pull out of this is that I just don't think he's going to destroy the economy. Like, given now I'm even more confident with the tariffs coming, he's just going to revoke it. He's going to backtrack. He's going to be like, I never did any of that. Or he's going to say, look how successful it was. Like, come on. We've already seen this. But I'll end it here because I've just been yapping for 10 minutes and I just wanted to yap away. So thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Peace.